Sexy Slim, what's going on with you? I got a little time to kill. I figure I'll come on real quick. We're going to start here in about a minute. Said the night is still young. Definitely. Definitely. All right, so let me get into this real quick. So I don't know. Yeah, I'm vibing out a little bit. I don't know if you guys have been looking at all of the stuff that's been happening or whatever case be. It's all hot air. I'm gonna be dropping a link here in a minute. So with the whole Tisha Campbell, Whoopi Goldberg, and I believe her name is FTN Bae. I saw the Tasha K interview today. I found it very interesting. I looked at a couple videos and I actually found one that kind of explained the situation a little bit better. So I'm actually gonna play this video. Fair use. I'm only gonna play the audio anyway, but I'm gonna play the video, and I think I'm gonna start there first because I think that is the bigger topic. It has so much to actually converse about. So I'm gonna play that first, and then we're gonna get into the rest of this.
Is Tasha K, because she is surprisingly in some more mess. A video of a heated argument between Tasha K and FTN Bae made its way across social media yesterday, but a lot of people are confused as to what the hell is going on, and I'm here to fill y'all in, so let's get into it. FTN Bae is a singer, rapper, artist, though she kind of just comes off as an IG model. She was previously dating rapper Doodie, whose real name is David. Now, David is signed to Lil Durk's OTF label and a part of the general OTF rapper collective. FTN Bae, whose real name is Brittany, has a 5-year-old son named Wesley. And back in October of 2021, Brittany publicly accused her boyfriend, David, of sexually assaulting her son on social media. She did so by posting an audio clip of Wesley telling what supposedly happened. Now, I need y'all to understand this very clearly, that I'm not here to go into full details of what Brittany claims was done to her son. I'm not playing the audio. I'm not doing that. My focus isn't on that. My channel just doesn't go that deep. But any additional information about that matter specifically will be in the description box. I'm more so here to explain why this altercation came about, because the video is circulating around the internet with no context. So according to Brittany, she and David were in and out of court. The incident that she believed happened allegedly took place in August of 2021. She went to authorities about it, but ended up feeling like she needed to expose David publicly. So that's when she ended up posting the audio clip of her son in October, months later. However, according to Brittany, David's family reached out to her and said that they would make him take a lie detector test. He ended up passing the test, and Brittany turned to social media on or around January 20th of 2022 to publicly apologize to David, and she herself said that her son lied in that same video.
So I come to social media because I'm looking at it like the nigga, my son is out here walking free.
I hope y'all ready to talk about this.
Just let him be out here walking free. He don't give a to help me. He don't give a shit. Like, he want to play me like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was me and it's not me, and I'm just trying to figure out what's going on. So I came on the internet and I exposed him because as a mom, as a single mom, like, I don't have a lot of brothers. Like, I don't have family and shit. Like, we're gonna figure this shit out. So David went and David took a lie detector test today, and he passed. He passed with the person that I went to, and he passed with the person that he went to in Chicago. So David called me, his family called me, everybody told me David passed the test. He is not lying about, doing that. If I agree with the test because I went to, and I'm a woman by my word, I'd apologize. So I talked to David on the phone for like a couple hours, and then I spoke to my son with David, and my son lied. And I don't know why he lied, And I feel bad. I do feel bad.
Now, also in that video, she said that she spoke to her son along with David. So a few days after the apology video, she went live again, and she said that she had gotten the thought that maybe her son just said that he lied because David was on the phone, and now David has this audio of her son saying that he was lying on him. Brittany ended up publicly taking back her apology. Now a lot of people on the internet are questioning her. They are bringing up her past of being a dancer and saying that she apologized to David because she wanted him back. She's not a good mother. Like, it's a whole lot.
Oh, how my child feels because I'm his mother. Okay, so it don't matter what nobody on the internet wants to say about me. If people on the internet want to call me, oh, I'm a hoe and I was a stripper. I'm a mom. Like, I don't play none of that shit when it comes to my child. I don't play nothing when it comes to my kid. Nothing, absolutely nothing. Everything I do is for my kid.
So let's get into this a little bit. This is not about, I don't think, her being a dancer. This is not about her sleeping with whoever she slept with. I think this is more about, first of all, I saw her with the whole Tasha K interview. She looked very unpoised. Like, I mean, every question was like, just she just couldn't handle the conversation at all. And I have to salute Tasha K for this particular interview, because to me, I don't think Tasha K was asking her any difficult questions. I think, to be honest with you, I think as a mother, especially someone who wanted this to be out and let everybody know, I think she was asking the questions that us as um, men and women, us as fathers and mothers, us as citizens would want to know. So she was asking her, and I just seen this young woman, just she was all over the place. You know what I'm saying? You're right. Sexy Slim says, I would take the child a checkup to get counseling. I totally believe that the child should have been in counseling. So here's my thought process, and Tasha K pointed out a good point. If your child was assaulted in some type of way, or whatever case may be, um, why would you ever take? Why would you ever apologize for you outing someone? It did seem more like she was more concerned about the relationship with that man versus the actual situation with her son. It's like her of course the situation with her son was important, but for some reason it looked like it took a back burner based on, he said he wanted to be with me. He said he was sorry. He said, I was beautiful, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So it just looked like, to me, it was more or less about her relationship with this guy versus what actually happened with her son. Because here's the thought process. In doing the interview, doing a Tasha K interview, she had outlined, okay, well, Tasha K outlined, the hospital said there were no signs of entry in reference to some type of assault. There were no, there was no blood. It was no indication that anything happened. And he passed a lie detector test, that FTN Bae actually wanted him to go to. So he passed. He passed from the hospital. He passed from the lie detector test. I'm kind of under this impression like he didn't do anything wrong. And I wanted to ask you guys, what do you think? What do you think really happened? What do you think really happened with this situation? I mean, she just seemed like she was all over the place. It was like, Tasha K, you don't believe me. You trying to say I'm lying. And I was like, she's not saying that you're lying. She asking you some simple questions. She's asking you some simple questions. Either he lied from the lie detector test or he passed it. If he passed it, okay, he passed it. If the hospital, here's my thought process. You know what I always look at, especially when somebody's lying, they always act like they're the enigma. Like what they're saying has to be true, and the facts don't even matter. So if normally we take people who say something that happened to them, especially some type of assault, we take them to the hospital, they get the kit done, and the kit kind of outlines certain things, you know what I'm saying? Hair follicles, semen, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, right? So now all of a sudden, none of that matters and none of that counts. None of that matters and none of that counts. So I thought it was weird because I felt like Tasha K was asking some real important questions, and for some reason, every question that Tasha K asked her, she like got hyped, she got defensive. You know what I'm saying? You trying to call me a liar? And I was like, this lady didn't say you was a liar not one time. So why would you feel so aggressive in this situation? And if you knew, what I'm saying, because I'm sure she got questions ahead of time. If you knew she was going to be asking you something about a sensitive topic, why even do the interview? I guess that's where I'm lost at. Why even do the interview if you don't want to talk about it? People kill me with this stuff. Like, okay, well, I want to sit here. What's going on, Robert? God is the author of confusion. She is confusing. Enough said. Definitely. I was looking at it, and of course, we all looking at Tasha K right now, like, hold on, how is Tasha K the epitome of truth right now? But I gotta sometimes you gotta call a spade, and you gotta give, be fair and impartial. And I don't think that Tasha K in this instant did anything wrong. I don't think she was accusing her of anything. I think she was outlining certain things. It's like, yeah, I feel she felt like the relationship with her and that guy was more important than what happened to her son. I think her son was the caveat of them breaking up. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think her son was I'm gonna use my son. If you don't want to be with me, I'm now gonna use my son and say that you did X, Y, and Z to my son. And then when the son actually, when the police came and the hospital came and everybody came to ask questions, and her son was like, "No, he didn't do it." So it's like now I got to save face. And to me, I'm gonna be honest with you, you know, and this is not just for men, but this is for anyone who's accused of a situation, especially just as heinous as this. And I see a lot of that go on here on social media, whatever case may be. But it's like, in this case right here, it's like, okay, well, instead of going to the police department to report this immediately, the first thing we do is run the social media and we put this claim out there. I'm gonna be honest with you. If I was him, I would not. If I have a lawsuit going, I would not retract it. I wouldn't retract it. I saw from that interview that this woman was very unstable, and that she used, to me, in my opinion, she used her son as a get back. I'm gonna say that you did this to my son. And again, everybody took a lie detector test. She took a lie detector test. The guy she accused of it took a lie detector test, and he passed twice. I want you guys to think about that. You pass a lie detector twice. I want you guys to think about that. Well, it don't matter. She was like, it don't matter what the lie detector say. It don't matter what the lie detector say. Well, that's kind of crazy, don't you think? When you think that was kind of crazy that now all of a sudden the lie detector test, it don't matter, but you were just harping on the lie detector test. So when Tasha K pulled out the results, like, okay, I got the results right here. Well, that don't matter. I want to watch the video. What does the video got to do with the paperwork? What does the video got to do with the paperwork? Either the man passed or he didn't. And the fact that he passed twice, I mean, to me, it really says a lot about the situation. And I think Tasha K made a great point when she said, it seems to me it's more about the relationship with that man than your actual child. So I think she was spot on with that.
I'm a good fucking mom. Now you don't want to bash me because I just did what you wanted. He backed me in the corner and my son lied to me. And my son lied to me while he's recording. So now he got a recording of my son saying he made it up. I know that's not true. I'm looking at him. I'm hurt because it's like, what the fuck?
Meanwhile, Tasha K interviews David, aka Doodie Low. I'm not sure what day she interviewed him, but it went live on her website on January 31st, and she also posted a trailer on her YouTube. On her YouTube video, the title says, falsely accused him of the worst. Now, I'm not paying any money on her website for a subscription to watch this interview, but if you are interested, again, I have the link directly in the description. I'm also not sure if Brittany ended up reaching out to Tasha or if Tasha ended up reaching out to Brittany, but Brittany was also set to do an interview with Tasha. But at some
You're
point
right.
in the
This is
interview,
sad.
Brittany got upset because she had believed that Tasha already had a preconceived notion, an opinion about Brittany, that she is a liar before they even started having the interview. Once the argument got heated, Tasha K went live for evidence in case Brittany tried to say the argument got physical, and here is the video.
I never got on the internet and said I lied. I never lied about nothing. That's not what I said.
Brittany, I'm gonna have to ask you to leave right now.
Hey, so you're gonna bash people for their mistakes? I'm not bashing you. No, you're bashing me. It was a mistake. It was a mistake. David played me. It was a mistake.
I only want this just in case anything happens. Listen.
No.
Let me talk to her.
Listen, guys.
You can't shut the fuck up.
No, you're calling me a liar about everything I'm saying.
I didn't call you a lie. I presented you with facts.
That's not okay.
That's not calling you a lie. That's presenting you with the police report, with the medical
Fuck
report.
the police. Fuck the police. The police are.
I got justice from the
That's
police.
good for
in
you.
the 80s.
That's good for
In
you.
the 80s. We're talking about
That's
technology.
good for you. That's good for you. I'm so happy that you did. I didn't. So I'm glad that you got justice for yourself. I'm glad for you. But I'm trying to get it for my son.
But it sounds. Let me tell you.
No, I don't care. No, because you're listening to David.
I'm not listening
Yes,
to
you
David.
are.
I'm not.
You let the man who's being accused of come and tell their story first.
He has not been accused. There was an allegation made by you, which the
Oh, you remember when he
hospital
made the lie with his attorney? He said, "Oh, there's no investigation, there's no case." You remember when he did that?
Because they closed it.
No, that's not true. When I first put it on the internet, when I first put it on the internet, I put it on the internet October 28th.
So this is my issue with stuff. This is my issue. I dropped a link in case somebody want to join me and have this conversation. But this is my issue. My issue is that the first thing she said, I dropped it on the internet. And then she's saying the very people that's supposed to be investigating this, F them. So, I mean, do you want justice or do you not want justice? We're talking about it all over social media. You're getting whatever it is that you're getting out of this. And are you really getting your son the justice that he deserves? Because my thought process is, obviously, these guys have looked into this situation, investigated this situation, lie detector test, lawyers, other officials and authorities are involved, and no one is finding this guy guilty. I don't know. I kind of find that kind of hard to believe, guys. I find that hard to believe. I mean, I truly do. Because the thought process is, well, if the mother took a lie detector test, if David took a lie detector test, who do you think is next to take the lie detector test? Her son. Her son. Because, I mean, if he has it in his mind that this happened to him, then, of course, it should showcase that in the lie detector test, unless she knows it's a lie. I mean, unless you know it's a lie, because at this particular point, what is going on Tasha K? See, this is the problem, because I've seen this in the past. It's like, well, everywhere you go, I'ma go. Everything you do, I'ma do. And it's my thought process is, do you want justice? It's like people be wanting this social media justice, but they don't want real justice. Like throughout the interview, she was saying, well, I'm gonna let the lawyers deal with that. I'm gonna let the lawyers deal with that. If you can't talk about the case, then why go on Tasha K's? Why go on her platform? Robert says, all I hear is demonic possession in this young lady. Yeah, I don't know if it's demonic, but it's definitely delusional, Robert. It's delusional. And what's so crazy about it is she represents how people think, how irrational people think, and how they conduct themselves on social media. It's like my son or my child has an issue, and the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to run to social media and I'm going to put out this narrative that something happened with my son. Now, I'm not going to even get into the details of that. I think we're all familiar with that. If not, feel free to look up FTN Bae. Look her up and see what it is that she said in regards to these allegations. I just don't think anyone should have allegations put on them like that, especially if they're passing lie detector tests and the hospital saying we have no signs of forced entry. There's no entry, period. And it's like, and then you come out and say, well, my son lied, and then you retract that statement. It's like, what? So were you lying then, or are you telling the truth now? Like, I don't know. Which one is it? Which one is it? I'm way confused. I'm way confused. Like I don't really understand this. It's like she just really hyper, really like aggressive, and it's like, my son, I'm getting, da da da. But it's like, do you want justice or do you want relationships? I'm gonna be honest with you. Do you want justice for your son, or do you want a relationship with this man? Because it seems more to me like you guys, if for some reason a relationship was dissolved, and because the relationship was dissolved, you then said, okay, this man did something to my son. Because you said yourself in an interview that he called me and was whispering sweet nothings into my ear and said this and said that, and you were so, for some reason, everything that he did. I don't know about y'all, but if you do something to my kid, ain't no coming back. Like ain't no we gonna be together after that. I don't even care if it was I don't even care if it was alleged or not. If my child comes to me and say, "Hey, Dad, your girlfriend or X, Y, and Z did something to me," I would feel a certain type of way. They couldn't call me and say, "Oh, well, you're so handsome." After that, let's go to the movies and get some popcorn after that. But for some reason, after she came public and said that this happened to her son, she was willing to have this conversation with this man after the fact and let him whisper sweet nothings in her ear. And I thought Tasha K did a great job at asking the questions that was going to say, hey, listen, we need answers. You brung this to social media, and now social media is now responding. But I really think, I'm going to be honest with you guys, I think that FTN Bae, I think this is what she did. I think she saw David on the platform and she ran to that platform so she could be seen. I think this is about being seen. This is about being in the vicinity of anywhere that this man goes and being seen. Because at this particular point, there is nothing pointing out that this man is guilty. So imagine this man having to walk around with this stigma. You know what I'm saying? Think about if you're the new female dating this man, or if this man goes into anywhere where there are children at. Think about the stigma being placed on this man. This woman literally could have sat there with Tasha K and had a decent conversation. I noticed that there is for some reason, people can't have decent conversations. I don't know what it is. Like without shouting, calling names, and doing all this extra like antics. I noticed that people, for some reason, it is difficult for them to explain their point of view without getting so excited and upset. And she just seemed like she was upset for the wrong reasons. Is it me? She just seemed like she was upset for the wrong reasons, excited about the wrong stuff. Either he passed the lie detector test or he didn't. Either the hospital found something or they didn't. Either the police found some stuff to be off about the story or they didn't. And it's like regardless of what the police say, the hospital say, and the lie detector say, he guilty. Is he guilty because he don't want to be with you? Because that's how I'm seeing this right now. Is he guilty because he don't want to be with you? I wonder how many people get lies told on them just because they don't want to be in a relationship. Have you guys ever heard of that before? Feel free to hit the link. Have you ever been in a situation where you know someone who says, I'm going to say these things about you because you don't want to be with me? You got a new boyfriend, you got a new girlfriend, you done moved on, you done leveled up, and for some reason they figure, okay, well, let me come and lie on you. Let me promote this false narrative on you because I don't want you to be happy. I was watching this young woman's mannerisms. I was watching her put on her shades and how she was sitting in the seat and how she was playing with her phone. And I mean, it was just like you're trying to prove something. And the thought process is, first of all, this is your son. And no one should be more outraged and in an uproar than you are. But at this particular time, the only thing that should be happening right now is a thorough investigation. And it sounds like to me, things have already been done to actually outline whether someone is guilty or innocent. Here's the issue. You know what I noticed? I noticed that people want to try you in the court of social media. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. People want to try you in the court of social media. They do not want to take you to court. They don't want none of that type of justice. They want social media justice. If I say he did it, if I say she did it, then it is what it is. And then people based on their own experiences, people that have been through some type of abusive relationship, that know someone who's been through some type of abusive relationship. For some reason, it's people like this FTN Bae, that pull on the heartstrings of people who really have been through something, and then of course people rally behind that. The cancel culture rally behind that. The gay community rally behind that. The straight community rally behind that, because no one wants to see children hurt. There's a zero tolerance. But then when you start asking those sensible questions, Tasha K asked some sensible questions. Well, how come this didn't come out negative? And how come this wasn't found? And how come when they did the investigation, this didn't happen? And it was like, F that. I don't care about this. And I don't care. And I'm like, wait a minute. How can you, everything that proves your story to be true, you don't care about? That's weird. Everything that will put you in the right, everything that will get your son some real justice, not social media justice, but real justice. Because you know the only information that she would have to put out? Here's the information from the court finding him guilty. Here's the information from the hospital finding him guilty. Here's the lie detector finding him guilty. But you have nothing. That's crazy. We have to do better. We have to look at these situations and say, yo, we got to look at these situations like they are. She seemed, I'm going to be honest with you, she seemed like it was more or less, let me say something about this guy to ruin his character because he does not want to be with me.
Okay, are you yelling or crying?
What do you mean?
No. Are you yelling or crying?
When David went on the internet, when it first broke on October 28th, I let him know on October 15th I was working with the police. October 20th, him and his attorney called, and they said, we are not going to be working, we're not answering no questions. October 28th, I go on the internet and I say, this is what's going on. He goes on live with his attorney to say, there's no case, there's no investigation. If it was serious, you would be working with the police, and I was. And they know that because they declined to talk. So why are they lying from the very beginning of this hitting the internet, trying to say, oh, if it was really serious, she'd be dealing with the police and not the internet. But that's not true. I was dealing with the police. And when I was done dealing with them, then I went to social media. So that's not true. I knew for a whole month.
Exactly.
So why are you saying, like, I don't get it? Exactly what?
Listen. You dealt with the police. You came on the internet.
I'm
you was already
still dealing with the police.
David responded after you came on the internet.
Listen, we've been talking about the same minute for the last 15 minutes.
That's because she won't allow nobody to talk.
No.
Listen, you can't come to my show and then want the interview to go away.
Because how you gonna tell me?
I didn't say you were lying. You said your son was lying.
How you said
and
it?
then you
I
got
already
upset.
said I was manipulated into
Good evening.
doing
Good
that.
evening.
You weren't manipulated. You were upset about the relationship.
You gonna tell me what I was doing?
Ladies, this squad is here.
Listen.
All right? You came to tell your story.
Yes, and I said there.
And that didn't get told. It didn't get told. She thought
Because you were angry the moment you sat down.
No, yeah, because you're already looking at me like I'm lying.
Listen.
And I
you
already
didn't even
know
look
how
at
you
me in
felt.
the
I already
eye.
knew how you felt about me before I came in here.
No, that's not true.
That is true.
That's not true. That's not true.
Listen.
I told you I would be non-biased.
Let's take it.
I don't know about y'all, man, but the whole vibe with this young woman, you know what I'm saying? It's I don't know. It just gives me a bad taste in my mouth. The reason why is because we're doing this at a child's expense. We're doing this at a child expense. And it's crazy. Like it's to me, social media, man, it is like getting out of control. Like we are doing things at children's expense. We're talking about people's kids, using our kids as some type of like gimmick or game or whatever. And it's like, man, it's crazy. It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? This FTN Bae thing, to me, if she wanted real justice, she would have taken this man to court and left it there and not spoke about it. But it seems like wherever he goes, she's going to follow suit. But she didn't really want to talk about it. I think that's the thing that's crazy. Refuse to lose. I hear you. But my thought process is, why go on Tasha K's platform if you don't want to talk about it? Why go on there? You understand what I'm saying? That this thing is still an open wound. This thing it's not been, he hasn't been found guilty, because right now it's your word against his word. I mean, to be honest with you, it's your word against his word. And of course, as soon as a woman says, or anyone says that, hey, this person did something to a child, then it's like all bets are off. You're guilty until proven innocent. I'm in totally agreement that there should be a zero tolerance when it comes to children and them being violated. But here's the thought process. That's why you have a court system and investigations and hospitals. You can't tell me everybody's working in this other guy's favor. You know what I'm saying? Yes, something is way off. You're exactly right. Something is way off. I'm looking at her body language and I'm like, why is she so agitated? She said, well, when I first sat down, you were looking at me like I was guilty. And I was like, what? What look was that? What is the look of guiltiness? Like, what makes you feel guilty? This is the issue, ladies and gentlemen. Let me tell you something. We are in the issue. We are in the time of social media where you can say and do anything online. And the second that you have to do a face-to-face, here's the thing. Tasha K ain't no young puppy. Salute to Tasha K. But we're not old. We're not young puppies. You know what I'm saying? We come from a face-to-face situation where you have to, we sit down and discuss things face to face. So for people that are used to hiding behind cell phones and computers, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, now all of a sudden you're looking at me like I'm guilty. Had a conversation. You're there to have the tough conversation. You're there for some reason to say, hey, this guy is guilty because of such and such. And to be honest with you, didn't prove he was guilty based on anything except you. Refuse to Lose says no lawyer would say go do interviews while get the facts together. No way. Exactly. I truly believe this is a stunt because this man doesn't want to be with her, or the relationship has dissolved and she's using this as a come up. Because one, either for a settlement so that way she can be quiet, or two, she's using the narrative of something happened to my son, so let me pull on your guys' heartstrings to try to get some products and services. I'm gonna be honest with you, because no mother, no reasonable mother with common sense would say, let me go on Tasha K's platform and I have no proof of anything. Went to the hospital, failure. Went to the police, failure. Went and did the lie detector test, failure. There's nothing showcasing this man is guilty other than you saying he's guilty. Okay, cool. Let the lawyers deal with it. Why go on a platform where you know she's going to ask you some tough questions and then act like, well, I'm not going to answer any of your questions because I find them to be very alarming. I think that you're attacking me. Any platform that you go on, especially during this situation, they're going to say, how do you know your son is telling the truth? What investigation has been done? Any type of reasonable interviewer is going to ask you those questions. But because she's young, this is the mentality of a lot of young women, a lot of young men. It's like, I can't have this conversation. I have to be overly aggressive. I have to, this lady put on her shades. I was done when she did that. I was done when she put on her shades. I said, is she hiding? And that goes to show you the power of social media and how people can just hide on Instagram and Twitter and Snapchat and YouTube and Facebook and just say anything. You've said that this man has touched your children, and now all of a sudden, when you have to actually have a face-to-face conversation, you putting on your shades, boo-boo, honey dip, sugar lamb, pudding foot. Who are you hiding from? We can see you. If I was Tasha K, I'd be like, where you going? Is it bright in here? Let me turn down the light. Turn down the lights. For real. That was crazy. I know when she look back at that, she's going to be like, oh, I really embarrassed myself on that one. It's like, if you're going to get justice for your children, get justice for your children. Don't exploit them. Don't exploit your kids. I did a video earlier. I was like, man, why are we using people's kids? Like, and here's the thing, people using their own kids. They using their own kids. If you feel something happened to your child, go get your child real justice. Don't just, that's not a social media post. That's not a social media post. Like, people are crazy. That is not a social media post. Put anything on social, that's crazy. Let me make this post about it. What? A post? You should be at the police station right now. It's been how many months and you didn't get justice for your kid yet? Come on, man. That's something to think about. But let's move forward. Let's move on. Let's move. Let's move forward. Salute, sis. What's going on? We just got through talking about the whole FTN Bae um, situation. We're gonna move on though. I want to talk about this Tisha Campbell thing. I'm gonna play this little excerpt that I got. Again, fair use is in full effect. Play this little Tisha Campbell thing about her being allegedly abducted.
Don't freak out, but I think I almost got snatched up. So they don't have Ubers where I'm filming, and I had to call a taxi. So I get this number, but the truck that the van that pulls up is real sketchy looking. But there's a guy in the back seat, right? So when he jumps out, the guy is just standing there. I thought he was getting dropped off, but he's just standing there. And he goes, "Get in," and I go, "What?" He goes, "Get in," and I go, "No." And then I look at the car, look inside the car, it's fucked up. The rubber is pulled up from the bottom. There's dirt everywhere. The back seat looked like it's snatched out for a fucking reason. And so the guy in the front seat, the driver goes, "Get in the car." And I go, "Well, I'm not getting in the car." And the guy in the back is like kind of mushing his body towards me to get in the car. And the guy says, "Well, then get in the front seat then." I said, "I'm not getting in that fucking car. Fuck y'all. Fuck out of here," right? I asked the lady at the front desk, I said, "Yo, who's the guy that gave me this number?" And she was like, "Why would he give you this number?" Yo, this trafficking shit is real, but they got me fucked up. They got me fucked up. Because I ain't Gina, bitch.
I can't, y'all. I can't. I'm looking at her face. I'm sorry. Listen, let me tell y'all something. First of all, anybody, if they were there to abduct you, they wouldn't have asked you to get in. Have you ever seen a nice abductor? Can you please? And then when she said, "No, I ain't getting in the back," the dude was like, "Well, get in the front then." Let me play this again. Hold on. Let me play. Listen to this lady talk. This is crazy. This is bananas.
Don't freak out, but I think I almost got snatched up. So they don't have Ubers where I'm filming, and I had to call a taxi. So I get this number, but the truck that the van that pulls up is real sketchy looking. But there's a guy in the back seat, right? So when he jumps out, the guy is just standing there. I thought he was getting dropped off, but he's just standing there. And he goes, "Get in," and I go, "What?" He goes, "Get in," and I go, "No." And then I look at the car, look inside the car, it's fucked up. The rubber is pulled up from the bottom. There's dirt everywhere. The back seat looked like it's snatched out for a fucking reason. And so the guy in the front seat, the driver goes, "Get in the car." And I go, "Well, I'm not getting in the car." And the guy in the back is like kind of mushing his body towards me to get in the car. And the guy says, "Well, then get in the front seat then." I said, "I'm not getting in that fucking car. Fuck y'all. Fuck out of here," right? I asked the lady at the front desk, I said, "Yo, who's the guy that gave me this number?" And she was like, "Why would he give you this number?" Yo, this trafficking shit is real, but they got me fucked up. They got me fucked up. Because I ain't Gina, bitch.
My stomach. Jesus Christ, man. Hold on. K Wu says production usually provides transportation, especially for celebrities. First of all, y'all, you notice what she didn't say? Well, actually, I think she did file a police report. So she did. But here's the issue, y'all. The issue is that if somebody is there to abduct you, right? If there's a guy that jumps off the van and says, "Get in," why is he waiting for you to get in? You said, "I would love to see some camera footage." Man, listen, I hear you. I'm gonna have to look that up, man. It says Tisha Campbell almost abducted, gives warning to women. That's what it says. So that way you guys, maybe I'll go back and put the videos in the link. But I just wanted to talk about this for a little while. Whatever. Here's the thought process, ladies. Nine times out of 10, I definitely would practice safety. You know what I'm saying? Parking in a well lit area, making sure that, people know when you're traveling, you know what I'm saying? You're like to and fro. Just to, just, hey, I'm on my way to the movies or I'm on my way on a date with X, Y, and Z. Just to make sure people know your whereabouts from time to time, just so that way, you can definitely be safe or whatever. But I don't know. I'm looking at her and it's like she couldn't even tell a story. Was it a van or was it a car? You know what I'm saying? And I'm sure no raggedy van is just about to pull up talking about I'm an Uber. You know what I'm saying? And then they're gonna say get in, and then when you don't want to get in the back, they tell you to get in the front. What? What? And did you call the police? Did you give the description to the police? I mean, they should have got arrested, right? I don't know, man. But Gina is, I mean, not Gina. What's her name? Tasha. Tisha. She's not an A-list celebrity, so she might be catching regular Ubers like the rest of us. We might mess around and bump into her. Yeah, they could have grabbed her. They could have grabbed her. I don't get this. Like what? I don't I don't understand. It's like people. Oh my gosh, she almost got caught up. Lovely, what's going on, Lovely? She almost got caught up, and I'm like, if they really wanted to grab her, when he hopped out, he would have grabbed her and pulled her in the van. I'm not gonna give you an option. You want to go in the front or you want to go in the back? That's crazy. I've never heard anyone that's ever been like that. You do. Yes, it is. It is. It's definitely big, especially if you buy those borders. Canada, Mexico. It's definitely huge. But the fact of the matter is, which is crazy, is that it was like they gave her an option. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I believe that too, Lovely. She done turned into Jessica Smollett. I don't believe that, man. I could be wrong. I could be wrong, y'all, but I don't believe that. I'm sorry. It could be a true story. It could be a true story, but I don't believe that. I'm not going to waste too much time for that. We'll see what happened with those allegations because we know Jesse didn't. You know what I'm saying? He didn't got he didn't got that thunder and lightning put on him. They just arrested some people here in Hampton Roads not too long ago. Yeah, ladies, hey fellas too. I think we all should be a little bit more um, cautious and conscious of what it is that we're doing. I think we just kind of get that, you know, not invulnerability, but we get that kind of, we can just go and do whatever whenever and really not, especially when you're coming out the clubs. You know what I'm saying? Had a couple drinks or whatever, had a good time and then you go on your way home and it's like you're not paying attention. So, I would just say, if you can go with some friends or a friend, you know, and like you said, park in a well lit area, make sure people know what's going on. But yeah, that's very interesting. Let's move into the next topic. Let's move into the next topic. So Whoopi Goldberg is under fire. I don't even know if I want to play her comments. Uh, they canceling people. They cancel culture on Whoopi, boy. But Whoopi Goldberg is under fire. Let me look for this Whoopi Goldberg. I had to
Showing
clip
results
up.
for Whoopi Goldberg.
I think I could play this.
My words upset so many people. My word.
This is her apology. Let's listen to her apology and then we'll get into it. Let's do that.
It's upset so many people, which was never my intention.
Whoopi Goldberg has been suspended from The View for 2 weeks after she made controversial comments about the Holocaust on Monday's episode.
And I'm incredibly torn up by being told these things about myself. And, I get it. Folks are angry. I accept that, and I did it to myself. This was my thought process, and I will work hard not to think that way again.
After speaking with Stephen Colbert Monday night on The Late Show, the controversy continued to grow. She apologized in a statement on Twitter and live on Tuesday's show.
Now, words matter, and mine are no exception. I regret my comments, as I said, and I stand corrected. I also stand with the Jewish people, as they know, and y'all know, because I've always done that.
ABC News president released a statement addressing Goldberg's apology for her wrong and hurtful comments, adding, I've asked her to take time to reflect and learn about the impact of her comments. The entire ABC News organization stand in solidarity with our Jewish colleagues, friends, family, and communities. And on The View today, Goldberg's absence was addressed.
You all saw the news. Whoopi will be back here in 2 weeks. Okay?
Let's listen to one more thing. Let's
be
listen to one more.
truthful about it, because the Holocaust isn't about race. No. It's not about race. It's about man's inhumanity to man. That's what it's about. Let's talk about it for what it is. It's how people treat each other.
Whoopi Goldberg facing growing outrage after declaring the Holocaust was not about race, despite 6 million people who were murdered for being Jewish. Here to react, Fox News contributor and civil rights attorney Leo Terrell. Good morning, Leo.
Hi, Carly. Thanks for having me.
Oh, so happy to see you. What's your reaction to the situation?
Well, let me use Whoopi's word. Let's be truthful. She marginalized the death of 6 million Jews. And what makes it insulting is she provides cover for those who are anti-Semitic, those who really try to downplay that the Nazis tried to systemically eliminate every Jew on this planet. And here's the part that's upsetting, Carly. She'll get a pass. She'll get a pass from the Hollywood left because she's a progressive and she's black, and she'll be given a pass. They're trying to get rid of Joe Rogan, but they're going to allow her to maintain this anti-Semitic rhetoric as if nothing happened. Her apology is not enough. The damage has been done.
Yeah, that's right. Well, she was on the Late Show last night. She tried to clarify her remark. Take a listen to what she had to say.
I feel being black, when we talk about race, it's a very different thing to me. Mm-hmm. So I said that I felt that the Holocaust wasn't about race. People were very angry and they said, no, we are a race. And I understand. I felt differently.
She says that she understands the criticism. You don't think that's an acceptable response, or do you?
Oh, look, she used her race. I feel that I'm black. See, she's using her race as a cover. Let me sit here and say this. Whoopi Goldberg missed apparently world history class in high school. Okay, I feel as a black man, as a civil rights attorney, and as a history teacher, that what she said was anti-Semitic, racist, and downplay that 6 million people were murdered and their ancestors will never have any type of satisfaction of resolution. It's an attempt to ignore what happened 70 years ago. This world should never forget that a madman tried to eliminate a religious group off the face of this earth. This is crazy. And her race will not protect her. I don't know what ABC is going to do, Carly, but let me tell you right now, just apologizing and hiding behind her race is not enough.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that, because what are your thoughts really on the calls to fire her? Because on one hand, like as we're seeing, she really upset a lot of people for what she had to say, but conservatives also speak out against firing people for saying controversial things or making mistakes.
Listen, I'm not calling for her termination from the View. I think that her late night apology, a lot of people didn't see it.
Salute, Keish.
Treat liberals
Uppity,
the way
salute.
treat conservatives. Treat Whoopi Goldberg the way the left is treating Joe Rogan. Let's have a uniform fairness of letting people speak the way they want to. And we all know what Whoopi Goldberg said was racist and anti-Semitic. But hey, don't fire people just because of their outrageous comments. Let them speak.
Yeah, let them speak. And that's right. To combat things that you don't like, you speak out. More speech rather than less is always the answer. Leo, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
All right, let's talk about it a little bit. I see a lot of comments in the chat. I appreciate you guys rocking with me on your Saturday night. Like I said, I got a little bit of time to kill before I get up out of here. What do I think about Whoopi Goldberg? Whoopi Goldberg has definitely said some very controversial statements throughout her career, from stand-up to movies, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So it's very interesting. I guess this is my thought, though. This is my thought. I think that when you're not well versed, your opinion should be done tactfully. I think it's great. I think it's great to want to give your opinion, but I think a lot. I see a lot. I see people talking about like the gay community. I see people talking about politics. I see people talking about racism. And for some reason, when you're only privy to that small bubble or that small portion of knowledge, it's very hard to be versatile in your conversation. So it's always going to be one-sided. It's never going to be fair. It's always going to look like there's a major bias. And I'm not saying that Whoopi Goldberg is biased. I'm just saying that um, to have to come back and apologize means that you're not well versed enough to realize that you're on a national platform where your voice will carry to millions of people that were descendants from the same people that you said, hey, it's not about this and it's not about that. And I'm not here to discuss what was it about. I'm saying that when you're not versed, well rounded on a topic, it is very you can give your opinion. Like I'm gonna be honest with you. This past, I want to say 6 months, like I've heard more people talking about it's my opinion and that's all that matters. Like their opinion is like the tell all be all and nothing else matters. And the thing about it is when your opinion, just because you have it and it's your individual self perspective, that doesn't mean it's verse. That doesn't mean that it's fair and impartial. Your opinion can be one-sided. Your opinion can be ignorant. Your opinion can be without facts. Your opinion can be overly emotional and overly aggressive and offensive to others. But for some reason, social media is like, well, that's just my opinion. And I get it. Okay, cool. But sometimes you need to give your opinion tactfully, especially if you're not well versed. That's like me speaking on the inner dealings of how white people run their household. Well, I don't live with white people, so I can give you my opinion on it, but that don't mean I know exactly what's going on. That's like a white person talking about the inner dealings of a black family. Unless they've lived inside that black family or a part of a black family, you really don't know. So your opinion has to be done tactfully. And I see a lot of people who give their opinion freely, but they're not well versed in their opinion. I just think that with Whoopi Goldberg in this particular matter, what I'm saying, like she said, I'm not well versed, what I'm saying, and now that I've made that statement, people are giving me, more information, just like Nick Cannon. I see people all the time, they make these statements and it's just like, well, now I'm gonna go back and retract the statement and do it over again. And it's just like, well, why not just do it right the first time? Why not just be more cautious about what you're saying the first time? And I think what happens is, we kind of start feeling ourselves, ladies and gentlemen. We start feeling ourselves, like based on our platforms, based on the people that we've reached. We start feeling ourselves to the point where we don't hold ourselves accountable or responsible for the things that we say. Now, by saying it's our opinion and it's our perspective, that's our way out. Like this guy was saying, this attorney, the civil rights attorney was saying, you're not going to be able to use the black card to get out of this. It's a lot of people who use their opinion to get out of it. Where's my opinion so I can say whatever I want to say? It's my perspective. You can't question my perspective. Well, if your perspective has no merit to it in regards to common sense, your perspective is biased, then yeah, your perspective should be questioned. It definitely should be questioned. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people who were in support of what Whoopi Goldberg said, and there's a lot of people that was against her. Um, and I think that and I heard something earlier, and I really want to play it for you guys. And it was on the Ronald Martin, and there was a lady on there, and she was killing it in regards to saying her perspective on this whole Whoopi Goldberg thing. And I want to play it for you guys. I think it's important. Hopefully, I can find it in my history here. Let me see here. Hopefully, I can find it. But I think she did a great job at just breaking down This is it right here. Okay, cool. Here we go.
All right, folks. Whoopi Goldberg is being suspended for 2 weeks by The View after there was a discussion on the show where she said that the Holocaust was not about race.
Also, if you're going to do this, then let's be truthful about it, because the Holocaust isn't about race. No.
For conversation, Whoopi apologized for the comments, saying she was corrected. There were people who was absolutely saying she needed to be shut down, needed to be fired. ABC then suspended her for 2 weeks. When it was also interesting, there were a number. I had different people. There were different folks, some who were Jewish, who were saying that, well, Whoopi was right about it's not a race. Others said it's about it's a religious group. Others were like she's absolutely dead wrong. That you can't deny this whole deal. Reese, what do you make of the suspension? And others who will say, wait a minute, is it possible?
I think it was his first lady. This is the woman I want you to hear.
Correct it, apologize, and stay on the air versus saying fire them or get rid of them for 2 weeks. Your thoughts?
Well, number one, she's a Black woman, so she got her N-word wake-up call with that situation. Even though she's the leader of The View, they came right out and treated her like an N-word. So there's that. But I actually think that the suspension is actually the best outcome for her. I think 2 weeks is enough time to where you have more people saying that it's excessive rather than people saying that it's not enough. And even people that have called for more, they're more so on the defense now, trying to kind of walk that back. And so even though, some might perceive it as being unfair, at least she does her 2 weeks. And then I think she can move on from the discussion, given that she's apologized fully, she's opened up dialogue. And, as a matter of course, it's just a good idea to usually stay in your lane. If you're not a scholar in certain things, you should really just stay in your lane. I'm not going to speak on experiences that I don't have that worldview from, whether it's about LGBTQ issues or whatever kind of historic issues that are so many emotions that are involved within that people take very seriously. It's just usually a good idea to kind of take a back seat and talk a little bit less, unless you are truly studied in that. And she came out and admitted that she needed more learning on the topic of the Holocaust and all that kind of stuff. Usually it's a good idea to just be a little more quiet. So lesson learned for her. And I think that she will be able to move on, and at least she still gets to keep her job.
Seth Abramson is a lawyer, also a writer. He put this on Twitter. Go ahead and pull the tweet up, folks, and you'll actually see it. I'm going to read it for folks. Y'all should zoom
So
that in.
You think she's leaving altogether?
Jews aren't a race, period. Whoopi Goldberg was suspended for failing to take the Nazis' view of Jews that we are a race. While I understand the Nazi view of Judaism means the Holocaust was in a demented way about race, the reaction to Goldberg's comments was excessive. Now, a lot of people disagreed with him, and he was sitting here going, wait a minute, I'm talking about me. And so it was like all this back and forth that was going on there. And so when you talk about Teresa, just like you got people.
Sexy Slim, I see you. I'm gonna pull you up in a minute.
Who are mad that artists are pulling their music from Spotify.
Feel free to hit the link.
His comments about COVID.
Anybody else?
On his show. Others are saying,
we're gonna open up the panel in a minute.
Too far. Why can't people admit a mistake versus be completely decimated and suspended? Just want to get your thoughts on it.
I find it very interesting though when we have it. Again, it kind of goes back to our earlier conversation about owning your own mediums, right? So, Whoopi is getting suspended for 2 weeks, but how many times have we seen individuals on Fox News, correspondents really, has been making so many objections and so many various issues against Black people, and yet they're still on the next morning. So it's like, really, you just have to really own that space. But I also, I feel Whoopi did what she was supposed to do. She is on The View as a commentator, as an opinionist. So it's kind of hard for me to say, like, I don't expect Whoopi to give her opinion about something that historically happened. I think anytime we look at American history, there are so many interpretations. People still think, us marching with Martin Luther King didn't make sense. So there's so many narratives that I think can come from everybody's own perspective of what American history actually is. So to get, punished for not just the lack of education, just for a difference of opinion, I think it's absurd.
It is, and look, the reality is when you're in the business of giving opinions, this is likely going to happen. I mean, that it's going to happen, where you say something, you tick some folks off. And look, when you're dealing with people who are in charge, the reality is they are, look, how do you end controversies? How do you quell them? How do you, stop them from continuing?
We're going to open up the panel. Open up the panel in about 1 minute.
There's a whole lot of factors that actually go into this. And so I think that's one of the things that that you see happening here. That look, I mean, this is the world that we're living in, and so
Miss refuse to lose.
All these people, I'm so sick of this.
Pull you up for a minute.
Cancel. I mean, especially with people who yell about being canceled, but you're actually on a media outlet talking about your cancel. So how in the hell are you on the media outlet? I mean, it gets so stupid with some of these people when they start talking about, oh my goodness, I'm being canceled. And it's kind of like, yeah, okay, no, you're not. So stop it. So Whoopi will be back, folks, in a couple of weeks.
Okay, man, let's get into it. So we're gonna open up this panel real quick. Miss refuse to lose. Let me see something here. I think she dropped off. Sure. So if you guys want to join the conversation, we're gonna be here for as long as I say we're gonna be. Now, if you want to hit the link, feel free to hit the link and join the panel. We can talk about some of this. Yeah. Refuse to lose. Okay. If you want to come back up, feel free to hit the panel, whatever case may be. But as you guys can see, there's a lot going on. And I think that these things are, let me bring you up real quick. Okay. Welcome to the panel.
Thank you.
So what do you think about some of these things that's going on? We can start anywhere you guys want to in regards to any of the three subjects that we had.
I'm going to start with Whoopi. But one thing, over the years, one thing we do know is that she very well means everything she say. She's never been one to back down that I've known of, And so I just feel like she's being forced into, saying things that she don't want to say. Allegedly, she is talking about leaving for good because of this incident. And as far as the young lady over on Tasha case, I feel like if in fact this was the ongoing court case and things are still in court and trying to be figured out, then neither one of them have no business talking about it. So something definitely isn't sitting right amongst that. Tasha did say that she spoke with his attorney. And so maybe he had counsel with him or however that went. But I just feel like something like that. At the end of the day, whoever is right or wrong, this is something that's been implanted in the child's head. You know what I mean? He may very well go down the line later on and say the same thing about somebody else because it was put in him. And maybe it probably didn't. You know what I mean? This is something that's going to be in this kid's head forever.
Good point.
And he may do this again because it was planted in him. Either way, if it wasn't or was, it's in his mind that these things happen.
No doubt.
So
Sexy Slim, what you think?
Oh, I definitely agree. Hi. Pleased to meet you. How y'all all doing?
Hello.
No, you're correct. They shouldn't be talking about the case. If the case is pending, it's well advised to never speak out about the details of a case while it's pending, because someone could get charged with, like for an example, side note, got charged with 4 felonies. And so I was advised not to talk about the details of the case. When I ended up having to take a deal, certain charges got dropped and then reduced to a misdemeanor. When I went back and looked at the case after it was all, said and done, after, whatever deal I took, I I looked at the codes for each charge. I actually went and looked up the code. Could you see the numbers and the codes? And I looked at my charges myself. No one told me to do it because I was like, I got to investigate this. I don't understand what happened. I realized that things that I was charged with, the felony charge, compared to what was reported, it didn't match the. So they charged me with felony charges for crimes that were actually considered misdemeanors. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, how is it that they made this a felony charge when it doesn't even match what I'm being charged with? You know, these are this I didn't even do certain, things I was charged with, but the charges I was charged with were misdemeanor charges, but they put them as felony. So so I understand why it was advised in the beginning, by my attorney, don't speak about he was like, I advise you not to speak about the case while it's pending. You see what I'm saying? Because so many things, it can go so many different ways. Just because somebody got charged with something doesn't mean they'll get convicted of it. Doesn't mean they're guilty of a certain charge. And it's just crazy. And you have the right to be silent. You have, like, you have certain rights to not injure yourself. And sometimes people can't prove stuff that really did happen. And sometimes people do lie. So, but I don't want to get into the details of that case because I'm not looking at the paperwork. But I will agree with you on that. If that case was pending and open, especially with a child involved, oh, heck no. There is no way I would have on no pending case just because I've been
And
through certain things, traumas, and been through the
I'm sorry, willing to show the test and
No,
all of
go
this
ahead. No,
stuff is
go ahead.
that's crazy. And it's still open and going on, and you ready to show lie detector tests and do something not right.
I just feel like
With
it's
a
more
child
about,
involved.
to be honest with you, her relationship with that man versus what happened to her son. I think that this is not for the son's justice. This is for the mother trying to stay connected or get over or get back at this man. I don't think this bringing it to social media is going to get the son any justice. I think that if this is something that's pending in the courts or lawyers are taking this to court, then let this happen. I don't understand why she would go on Tasha K's platform and she really didn't want to talk about it, and two, her response to all the questions seemed to me to be irate, and it seems like she was doing more avoiding than actually answering. What do you guys think about, like, her response to her questions?
I feel like she wanted to talk more about her and him situation versus what happened with the kid.
Can I be honest with y'all? I don't think we give a damn. Like, I don't think we care. There's a problem. The problem is that and I think that any smart person would look at this. Let's say this was a attention grab. Most time we talk about a money grab. Let's say an attention grab. I know this is going to get me on this platform if I say this. Then when I get on the platform, I don't really want to talk about what I said before. I just want to talk about this particular thing. Here's the thought process. You don't go on Tasha K's platform just by being the ex of this guy. You don't get there. You get there by saying, well, on the strength of my son and me wanting justice for my son, I'm now here. So now when you get there, Tasha K is asking you about what's going on in regards to the truth about what happened to your son. But you don't want to talk about that. You want to talk about how he was kind of, you know, whispering sweet nothings in your ear and why you upset about that, et cetera, et cetera. So I don't see this as the child being a victim. I see this as the mother having a issue with a guy who don't want to be with her. That's how I see it. I could be wrong though. Y'all let me know what y'all think.
What was with the eyes though? Y'all
It's
laugh.
sunny.
Yeah.
Tasha got this good lighting over there. She got that good lighting. You know, she must have. Old girl got her pupils dilated, and she couldn't handle it, so she put her shades on. I ain't mad at her for putting her shades on because her pupils was dilated.
Well, I'll say this. When I heard, Tosh K say, I didn't say that you lied, right? And then the girl was saying that you're saying I'm lying. It's just like, wait a minute. I have to, because I didn't hear the whole thing, you see, but it's just like I'm just going off just this little clip from right now, and it just seems to me as though I have to question that. If Tasha K say I didn't say you lied and I presented you with facts,
Hmm.
I'm sorry. I'm on the side of facts and right knowledge. That's just what I go with. I don't really deal with hearsay. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? So if you have the discovery of facts, this case shouldn't even been talked about, but she brought it up to the public. So now we talking about it. I have to go off discovery of fact. It's not that I'm siding with Tasha K. It's not that, but at this point in time, Tasha K
Yeah.
did all she said is, I didn't call you a liar. All I'm doing is presenting you with the discovery of facts. So I don't think it was fair for that girl to come at Tasha K like that and be like, oh, you're saying I'm lying. Wait a minute. You pointing the finger at her because you don't like the discovery of facts. You see what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So she needs to take responsible for her own emotions. She's mad because of the discovery of facts. Don't attack Tasha K because she presented the discovery of facts. Don't shoot the messenger. Hey, I just presented. I'm not calling you a liar. I'm just presenting you with the discovery of facts. So it just seems like she was trying to get out, and when the discovery of facts got presented, she wanted to run away. So she figured, I'm gonna just attack her and just run away. All she had to do was say, you know what? When she saw the discovery of facts, look, I feel, uncomfortable right now, and I would like to terminate this interview. And she could have just walked out and left. That would have been the most professional thing to do. What do you guys, have to say?
I mean, I would have left when she said when she kept saying he did it, and Tasha was like allegedly. She was like, no, there is no allegedly. Tasha was like, well, like no, like no,
Oh shit,
like
that's hilarious. That's hilarious. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you, and I said this earlier. I don't know. I think Sexy Slim was here from the beginning, but I said that I feel like this is a situation where social media has made it easy for us to say anything and not have a face-to-face conversation. That young lady, um, she was not accustomed to having a face-to-face conversation. Her body language, her messing with her phone, putting on her shades, the aggression, all of that to me signified not being comfortable, not only with the situation but with yourself. Like nothing about her was refined. Nothing about her stated that, you know what, hey, this is about my son. This is not about that man in our relationship. This is about my son and me getting justice. Like she spoke with no authority. The only conviction that she had was kind of like on a defensive. So even if she was on the stand, your message never comes across because you're now saying, y'all think I'm lying. Y'all think I'm lying. Y'all looking at me like I'm lying. Huh? What do you mean they looking at you like what type of eyeball? What type of eyeball they got that you think they looking at you like they lying? And I think that's the issue that we have right now with this generation, that a lot of people are so accustomed to saying and doing anything in the privacy of their home or behind the protection of their computers and laptops and cell phones, that when they now have to have the conversation, they're nervous, they're emotional, they're aggressive, they're defensive. And I see a lot of that on social media. That's why a lot of people, when they go on panels, like right now, which is ironic, all of us are kind of like not showing our face, but normally when I'm having a conversation, I like to show my face so you can see my facial expressions, my body language. Oh, bless her heart, all her life.
oh,
But I'm just saying. I mean, what do you think in reference to this generation being able to handle conversations? Like, do you think that it's no different from any other generation? Do you think that there's merit to what I'm saying, or you totally disagree? What do you guys think?
well, I think this day and time it's more easier. For one, like you said, we have the whole social media thing versus back when you up on them pointing in their nose, You know what I mean? Ready to get it cracking. And on the internet, it's like, well, we ain't gonna never see them anyway. I'm gonna call them all kind of so and so's and so and so's. You know what I mean? It
Yeah,
is different.
yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah, yeah, yeah.
absolutely different because a lot of people would not be doing what they was doing if they knew that person lived up the street.
I agree with you. I agree with you. I just think that, yeah, like you said, the energy is different. Like, I mean, this is about her son, and I know people might think it's a cliche, but normally when you're talking about your children, you find a different level of strength. You know what I'm saying? If it's about your children, you find a different level of authority. Like, hey, this is my son. I don't care about. But see, here's the thing. It's still about being realistic. Realistically, it is about what the police report says. It is about what the hospital says. It is about what the lie detector says. When you start saying, "Oh, none of that matters," you losing me. I'm like, what? Like, these are the things that's going to help you get justice for your son. So why wouldn't the police report and the hospital report and the lie detector report, why would that matter? So I mean, she just can, and I don't know. It's because maybe she is, because people can't tell you how to go through your hardship. So maybe she is distraught, and maybe she just needs, a kind word or someone to help guide her. But she, to me, the case of him being guilty was not outlined successfully tonight. Maybe I'm confused, but do you believe that based on what her actions and her response to the questions, body language, and all the other antics, do you believe that anyone would find him guilty?
Well, let me say this to you.
Okay,
You know, if somebody act long enough, people believe them,
I agree with you. I agree with you. Yeah, I agree with you.
and that's all I'm gonna say.
Okay, all right. Watch yourself. Watch yourself. Watch yourself.
I have
So,
I have I have to say, I don't, know the age of the age range of the child, but my question is this is with the discovery of facts in play, I don't think anyone would look at him as being guilty, but more as innocent. And not only that, the child is now a victim to her because now I have to question her parenting because it's like, did you coerce your child to say these things? And then when the child got on the phone, his spirit was like, look, I can't even go through with this. I lied, and I'm going to bring up a real life situation. I'm going to keep the names, hidden. I'll just say Doe 1 through 10 or whatever, because this person is related to somebody, a big name or whatever. So, but one of my relatives, right? Um, his uncle, my one of my cousin's uncle. This is like over a decade ago. I was like 16, you know, and I was talking with my cousin's paternal grandmother in AZ, and she revealed to me one of her sons, right? They were all adults. One of them had been, they lived in the jungles in LA at that time, but there was some time ago where one of her sons had been, lied on about rape, right? And it was a 16-year-old girl and said that one of her, her sons, raped her, right? And I'm like, what? Because I met the dude and he ain't never looked at me like that. So I was real confused, like, what? Him? Are you sure? And she just broke down crying, you know, because and later on, after the girl told, they all believed her. She came back and apologized and said she actually lied on this, this woman's son about the rape, and that she was sorry for lying. And then it confused me because I'm someone who has been violated, and most of my friends have been violated, and most of the people I end up attracting come to me and open up and tell me they've been violated, both women and men, from childhood, even into adulthood. And so I just don't understand because most of the people I track don't lie about the experiences that they have. There was also another girl I grew up with who she was young and she put a rape charge on a dude. The police, came up to his house. I don't know if they arrested him or what, but he ended up going to her house where her mother lived at. She lived with her mom. She was underage. And he apologized to them and said, I'm sorry. I thought she wanted it. So he was under the impression that she wanted to have intercourse with him. She then went and told everybody that, he raped her. I believed her. I was like, wow, that's so sad. Even though she was fast, I'm like, damn, you got raped? Like, that's crazy. I'm like, as fast as she is, it's believable to me. But I wasn't fast and I still, got molested. So it's just easy to take their side right away, especially when you're all underage or it's a minor involved. So, I'm gonna speed it up. What ends up happening is like a month or something later, she came to me, just only me, and she was like, "Oh, remember that guy I told you that raped me?" I'm like, "Yeah, yeah." And she was like, um, "Well, I lied. He didn't rape me." Um, she told me what really happened, and it was like at like a beach type of bathroom, and they don't have like really doors in there or whatever. And she was just basically saying like he put her up against the wall and gave her the pipe. And she was just saying, well, the deed was so, bomb. And I was like, what?
Wow.
And I didn't know the person. I didn't know the dude. I was just in middle school myself. So she not really like my real relative. Like I don't really know them people. And so there was no way I could contact him and let him know, and I wasn't gonna tell my family like she lied on that dude. You know what I'm saying? I kept it to myself. The only person I told was like my mom, and that was like a little bit of last year because she tried to pull up to my house. We grown now, and she talking about, oh, we old friends, and I'm like I got sons and I got family. Stay away from me because you even attacked me when I was younger. Oh no, I know what type of person you are. You lied on that boy, got that rape charge on him when we were young. And you attacked me, and I kept a lot of your secrets. I don't want you nowhere near me or my family. She was about to get hurt. My family had to go down there. My mom had to stop her from trying. She was all up in the house. My mom and them, my family, my brothers was over here. They was trying to get her to go because she was going to get seriously hurt by me.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So,
That's crazy.
with all of that, when I hear a situation like this with a minor, I don't know what to believe.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna be honest with you. I think that like the statement was made, you know what I'm saying, if people are lying about these particular situations, I think they should be charged and held responsible. But I think it's so easy to have a trial by social media. And I think before you even get to the actual, official, justice system, you get them involved, that person has already been condemned. And I think that we do that. They did a very good job at that with that R. Kelly thing. I mean, just to be honest with you, I never seen a documentary done about a person. Then after the documentary, um, then have another court case and then say, well, not that they use the actual documentary in a court case. I'm just saying, what if I'm gonna get a bunch of people to say, yeah, you did X, Y, and Z, then I'm gonna have then I'm gonna get these same jurors and jury and prosecution, you know, all of them have seen this whole documentary on me. So now you're saying they're about to look at this and be fair and impartial. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I'm not saying he innocent. I'm not saying he guilty. I'm just saying that imagine the average person, if you get 20 people in your community to say that you did something, right? And then you take another 20 people who heard the other 20 people say it, And then now they're supposed to sit on the stand and say, well, we're here to listen to, all sides of the story, blah, blah, blah. But they were just believing this stuff before they got there. They already have knowledge that you're guilty of something before they got there. And I don't know. I just think that's kind of interesting. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of interesting to a certain extent. So yeah. But check this out, man. I appreciate you guys for rocking with me. If you got any closing statements, let the people know. If you got a YouTube channel, let people know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? So I'm a Sexy Slim, I'm gonna do you last because I know Sexy Slim got a channel or whatever the case may be. But Miss Refuse to Lose, if you got anything that you want to tell the people, make sure that you go ahead and tell them right now.
Well, I want to close out by saying we as adults ourselves have to be mindful as to what we put out here to the universe. Because the end of the day and the moral of the story is it will be used against you. It will be switched up, flipped up, however people want to see it. And so just make sure what you're putting out here you good with. And my channel is Refuse to Lose BTS, where I talk about some of everything.
I'm gonna have to pull up. Matter of fact, let me make sure, see if I'm subscribed to that. Are you a moderator?
No.
Um, do me a favor and type something in the chat real quick so I can make you a moderator. That way you could drop your link. Did you have anything else you wanted to say?
Oh yeah. Thank you for, letting me speak. I'm gonna close out with this. I'm trying to make it brief. I agree with the lady, you be very cautious of what you're so quick to do. And also with tough love, when someone makes something one-sided before you get into court, it's very hard for people to be competent enough to make a judgment. And then also wanted to add, be careful, be cautious of how you put yourself out there for an interview. Acting like that, she was acting very toxic. She was acting very much like a perpetrator in her language, just all of this yelling and making a hostile environment for Tasha K. That's why Tasha K had to ask her to leave. But those are I'm a victim turned perpetrator. That's what I was labeled. And we were taught they had to reprogram us. But all of her body language and how she was speaking and raising her voice, those are traits of a violent person, somebody that's a perpetrator, and somebody that's very abusive. Now, I don't have a PhD in this, but I do have a certificate in domestic violence for perpetrators and batterers, and I am a victim turned perpetrator. So I played both sides. I've lied, and I've done those type of things. I'm a female perpetrator. Went and got help. So, with that being said, I don't want to really speak too much of case. It's gotten to a point in the justice system where people they don't know they don't know who to believe. They can't figure out who's telling the truth. So all they know is when a minor is involved in any type of a case, somebody has to be arrested. It's not that they're trying to arrest you because you're the innocent guy. It's just that there's a minor involved, and so they sometimes you be persecuted, right, for Christ's sake, for the truth and righteous, so sometimes that happens, but the table always turns. So never give up in the case, because there have to that you're telling the truth, and that you're innocent, so you must show up, because they don't know. But the it always comes full circle, I'll say that. So prayers to all parties involved and affected by this, even the girl. I hope she goes and gets professional help as well, and therapy for her child. I feel like the child is the victim the most, because I don't know if the child was coerced. I don't know, what's going on, why the girl acted like that and made it hostile towards Tasha K. But it's big red flags for me. So thank you for letting me speak on here at Tough Love, and I appreciate you and your channel and the zero tolerance,
No
And
doubt,
my
no doubt, no doubt.
channel, I speak about becoming an effective speaker and writer and a lot of other things. So you guys can follow me over there at Sexy Slim the Goddess, but it's Billionaire Bosses Podcast. But you'll find me under my ego, my stage name as an artist. So Yeah. Thanks for having me,
No
Tough.
doubt, no doubt. Have a great night. Have a great night. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm about to get up out of here. First of all, I would like to say that I'm hoping that everyone um, has a productive rest of their weekend. I really appreciate you guys for coming through, rocking with me on your Saturday night. For those that are getting ready to go out and party or on their way to bed or watching Netflix or whatever it is that you're doing, I'm hoping that, you know what I'm saying, that you find peace in it. These three topics today or tonight was pretty interesting, and I want to kind of combine everything and kind of see what you guys thought and kind of give my opinion or perspective about it. I appreciate Refuse to Lose and Sexy Slim for coming up. I see my sis in the building. Shout out to K. Cole and everybody else that came through. Uppity. I've seen a lot of people in the chat. So salute to you guys. I appreciate you all. For those people that's going to catch the replay, I really appreciate you guys. I'm asking if you are a content creator, please drop your link. Most of the content creators that come over here, I made a moderator so you can drop your link. You guys go check them out. It's a lot of great people that come through the Toughlove channel. I'm gonna get up out of here. You guys stay blessed, stay motivated, and again, remember, you know what I'm saying, what you put out into the atmosphere, it's 360. It's karma, and when it comes back to you, it's gonna come back to you the same way you put it out. So try to be as positive you can. Good night. God bless. Peace.
You're all a bunch of fucking assholes. You know why? You don't have the guts to be what you want to be. You need people like me. You need people like me so you can point your fucking fingers and say, that's the bad guy. So, what'll I make you? Good?